Alright, this is take 2, but it should be the last. Alright, so I'm going to start off by saying that all my code here is going to be referenced in the description. So don't freak out if you try to copy any of it down, can't see some of it. Just, it's in the description, use that as reference. So first thing I'm going to start off with is, I have to do this all over again, aren't I? No. Here we go. Give me 1 second here. That is everything. Alright, so first things first, you're going to need these 4 things. You're going to need your blank background, you need the picture with you in it, you're going to need your antelope, and then your rabbit. One thing to note about all of these is they all need to be the same size. I'm using 1920 by 1080 as reference, just because it's full HD, but you can use whatever size you want, but make sure that whatever size you use is the same size as your canvas here. Alright, so moving on. Your target number here, define this number, and then, or I should say all these numbers, the target numbers. Watch the other video on the algebra equations to get this. It's basically just finding where it is going to be on the antelope or the rabbit. It's just going to make it much simpler. I'm not going to cover it here. These numbers, though, are your lowest and highest values of where your horns and ears are. So for the X, you need your lowest and highest X. For your Y, you need your lowest and highest Y. Those are going to go in their designated spots. This first one I have in my code is the rabbit, and then the second one down here is the antelope. So that's going to be on the original picture. Everything here is pretty much what we did last week. I just have 2 different definitions, do them both at the same time. You don't have to have it this way, but again, if you get confused, just look at the code in the description. I mean, it's pretty well labeled throughout here. So loading the program, it's going to ask for your save location. First, then it's going to ask you to choose choose the rabbit. Great, that looks great. File name, rh.png. That's going to ask for the antelope. That looks great. Right. ah.png. Alright, and that should have wrote all the functions here. Go back over here. We should be able to see all the different ones. So if we look at the antelope, notice how the horns are inverted. So in theory, this location should be exactly where the rabbit is when we start putting the rabbit and the antelope into the original picture. So now we're going to go over to the swap background code. Load it. It's going to ask for the media path. Great. Test1.png. So now it's going to ask for the first animal, which I'm going to put the rabbit first. Now it's asking for the blank, so I'm going to put the blank background, and then this is going to be the one with you in it. I'm going to open that. Wait for it to do stuff. This is going to unfortunately be the most time-consuming part of this video. It's just waiting. I don't have intentions on cutting this out or editing it, so just going to have to bear with me for, I think it takes about a minute and a half. For each one, we have to do this 4 times. Oh, that actually reminds me. We're using this code 4 different times to make the pictures. That way, it's just simpler. Instead of remaking the function every time and then repicking all the files, we can just keep using the same one over and over and over again just by reloading it until we eventually get the final product. I'll show you what I mean as we move into step 2, but now we're just waiting for this. Oops. Nope. There we go. And now it's done. As we can see, it's got my nice little rabbit over there. Goes in that. Alright, now we can load this program again. So now, still going to be same file location. background name, we're going to name it different. So I'm going to name it test2.png. So now what we're doing here is we're picking the second animal. I know it says first, it just didn't change my raw input. So it shows rabbit, so now we need antelope. It's asking for the blank again. And then now this is where you can't get click happy. We need to take our one we just saved. We're making that the new background. We're going to open that, and now we're just going to wait for that to write it out. So that's what we're doing, is we're basically going from picture to picture, and we're adding more to it every single time. So we start off with nothing, 1, and then it'll be 2, and then we'll add these onto it. But just waiting. I should have found some like Minecraft music to play in the background while doing this. Oh well. CPU usage is still only sitting about 9%. And that's recording while running Jython. That's pretty good. Actually, I take it back, sitting about 8%. It's spiking at 9 when I'm doing things. There we go, now it's done. So now we see the rabbit and the antelope. So now we're gonna load it we're gonna load it 2 more times actually. Just repetition at this point. Background name test3.png. So now we're gonna choose our horns. I'm gonna do the antelope horns first, the blank, and then our last one we just made, which is called test2. Just wait for that to be done. I really should have found some background music for this, but oh well. I didn't feel like getting copyrighted or anything like that, even though technically I'm monetized, so I don't think it would matter. Still no lawsuits today, please. Like I said, just bear with me on this. And from here you can pretty much just do the last step on your own if you really wanted to stop watching, but if you don't, and just keep watching, it shouldn't be much longer. There it is. So now, open the picture here. It's not perfectly center, but that's just from the location of where it is. I mean, I personally think that's perfectly fine. It's still on the rabbit. It's not off or above. It's great for me. So, alright, so now we gotta do put the ears on the antelope. Same location, joy.png, because this should be my final product. Now we're choosing the rabbit ears, the blank, and the one we just got done making. I'm kind of glad I re-recorded this. It went much smoother this time. And shorter. The bad part about this is it goes pixel by pixel. So it'll be a little while, but CPU is still holding out about 7 to 9%. I like it. And we are done. So now we should have our eared antelope and our horny rabbit. And that should be everything. So again, to find those start numbers, look at the other video for algebra and wonderful things. I'm gonna regretfully say I enjoyed it, but that's it for this one.